Alright guys, I've got a killer riff for you today. This is LA Guns, Rip and Tear. We are tuned to E flat standard for this. It's my low E string. It's an E chord for you. Half step down from standard tuning for your entire guitar. This was from the Cocked and Loaded record, which was their second album from 1989. And I remember very vividly some shenanigans that were done listening to this album back in my, I guess it was post high school years, but not by much. And this was always a favorite album of mine back then. Kind of combined that street smart hard rock with a little bit of sleaze, a little bit of glam, kind of Guns N' Roses, but kind of not. And, you know, the story is Tracii Guns was part of Guns N' Roses and had a connection with that before he broke off and formed LA Guns with singer Phil Lewis. And they have kind of formed the nucleus of that band ever since. Great live band. Had a lot of fun seeing them over the years, and still kicking. And Tracii Guns, man, really good player, and he's come up with some great riffs over the years. And we're gonna look at one of them right here. Before we do that, make sure and check down below or across the screen here for my Patreon link, and that's where you'll find the tab, Guitar Pro, and even a backing track for this riffs lesson, and a whole bunch of more stuff over there at Patreon. So check it out, see what you think, and if you dig it, sign up. I'm always adding stuff every week, multiple times usually, and it's growing and growing over there. It's a lot of fun. So there's that, and also down below is a free gift. It's called 5 Blistering Licks to Light Up Your Fretboard, and it has some cool licks in there. It's all free. Check that out. All right, so once again, we're in E flat standard tuning, and we're in the key of A for this. Super cool riff here. I did a bit of research on this and even found Tracii Guns himself explaining how to play this. It's actually 2 guitars on the album. Mick Cripps is the other guitar player on this, and there's like a lot of 2 guitar bands, there's variations of it, and I'm going to show you the main parts here, and then I'll show you a couple little things you can do to simplify. But this is the main parts that Tracii Guns would play. So we're going to start on an A power chord, open A string, 2nd fret D, and then this G note on the low E string, 3rd fret. Going to give that a big bend. So it's like this. Okay, and then on the album it does this. I've seen Tracii do it like this. Basically, it's an A to a G, A to a G. So we start out with this. And then we do the next part, which is, that's A, G, A, G. So if you think about it, A, G, A, G. Open G, the second time. And from there, I'm just playing the 2nd fret on the D and G strings, and then playing the open D and G. So the second part is, you put those together, you get. Okay, and then we're going to do this. Okay, this is more of an open, jangly part that Tracii does. So what I'm doing is playing a D5 power chord here. Open D string, 2nd fret G, 3rd fret on the B. Then we're going to go we're going to play open G. And so take the first finger off. I'm playing this with my first finger and my ring finger. And then what I do is I take my first finger off. So we're basically playing a G chord here. D to G. Twice and then back to D. So we've got... hit the D one more time, then we're going to go into this. This is just a C. The chord movement is C to B, but we're keeping this third fret on the B string, and then we're playing the third fret on the A string, and then everything else is open there except for the high E string, which you don't play at all. And what you do is you play this, and then you play this. So you lower your first finger down to a B note while still playing the open strings in that third fret on the B string. So you're basically kind of going from a C to a G. But it's really a B. What you're hearing is the C to B. Hear this. The other guitar is going. Okay, so here's the whole riff. Okay, second guitar, very similar, but it's playing this. So here in the beginning, it's just going, and then it's kind of repeating that. So no, none of that. It's just, then it goes up to a D. So that's a D5, and then take your other fingers off and just hold the first finger there, and then play it twice on the A string, 5th fret, D string, 5th fret, G string, 5th fret, and then come back and play a C5 and a B5. Okay, I think the first one's a lot more fun to play. It sounds better. But if you put them together, it sounds really fat. So if you can hear that on the recording I did, where left side is Tracii's part, right side is Mick's part on the second guitar. So they work really well together. Okay, so that's the main riff. Now the verse, I'm going to show you Tracii's part, which is a lot of fun. So this is an A. Let me just play it and I'll break it down. All right, how fun is that? So this is all rock and roll here. This is Chuck Berry mixed with Rolling Stones, mixed with 80s hard rock, and it's just greasy and slimy, and it feels so good. All right, so what we're doing is A power chords. There's little accents that get put in there. They're not there all the time. You can play them or not play them. But one of the accents is the 5th fret on the B and the high E string, and that's just part of the top part of an A5. If you play an A5 like this, very full sounding, but what Tracii's doing is kind of like that. We're playing the open A string here. Okay, but now what we do is these double stops. And then a single note run, so. And that leads to a D chord. Okay, but let's cover this. So, what this is, first double stop is 4th fret on the B and G. Bend that up like a quarter step. Release it. So you're grabbing both strings with your ring finger. And then play the 2nd fret on the G and B. And then do the same thing on the D and G string. And then 3/4 on the A string. So we got okay, then move up to a D5 power chord. Do the same idea, this time 7th fret G and B, slight bend, release, 5 G and B. Same thing on the D and G now, 7 and 5. It's just a very small bend. And this time we're going to play 8 and 9. That's F to F sharp, and then back to the A. So okay, in that tempo, it's more like. And that leads right back into the chorus. Okay, now if you want to simplify, if that's a little tricky for you, if that's maybe a little bit too difficult for you to play, or you just want to play it a little more simply, what you could do is just focus on the A to the D chord movement. Okay, and just play all downstrokes there, chugging away. And if you feel like adding these little 2-note runs in there like this to connect the chords, you can do that. So you can add or take away depending on what you want to play, or you can mix it up, play a combination of all of it, which I think is really cool with this style because it's loose, free, there's a lot of improv. It's not like a set thing where you have to do it the exact same way every time. Some riffs are like that where you need to play it exactly the same for it to sound correct. But this is one of those things where you can sort of interpret the parts and play certain things one time and not play them the second time or whatever. Nobody's gonna care. It's rock and roll. It's greasy, it's slimy, and it feels good. And that's just the way it is. Main thing with the rhythm is you want to stay in the pocket. And you want to stay with the groove, lock in, really feel that, feel those accents, and make sure you're in tune and in time with the drummer and bass player as well. So there you go, guys. Rip and tear I like the solo on this as well, so I might do that at some point. But for now, enjoy this. LA Guns, Rip and Tear. Great album, Cocked and Loaded. Make sure to check that out if you haven't before. I've done a couple other tunes from here if you're looking for some more LA Guns tutorials. Never Enough. I did that, and I also did Malaria from this album. So check those out as well, and I'll see you next time. Rock on.